Hello my YouTube fans and subscribers. So today we're going to do something different. I know my head is partially chopped off, but I tried for the last half hour to put everything here in the field of view and my face too, but I partially succeeded. Okay, so today we're going to evaluate the no stress chest that I happened to spot. Well, I spotted it at Barnes & Noble. So I want to find the value in the materials, and it's as they say, it really works in teaching chess to evaluate perhaps the what's the word I'm looking for? How well it works in teaching chess. So the first thing I want to do is the actual product materials. Now I know that I can get this less. I know now that I can get this for less online, maybe $2 or $3 less than I paid for it in Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble is always usually a high price store, but not everything. So as far as the value, it was less than $20. That's with tax. So let's evaluate the actual. Let me just show you the back of that wall before I put it away. Okay. So first and foremost, the board. The board is two-sided and is the material, as far as I can tell, is very durable. It's better than some of the old-fashioned Pressman chess, foldable chessboards that you used to get. Maybe not as good as the hard press board that they used to sell some of them on. Okay. And taking care of it, it would probably last, a reasonably long time. The way I take care of things, without spilling things and stuff, probably a little longer. It comes with instructions, of course. I'll get into that in a minute, because I have an issue with the way they teach. But, well, let's put it this way. I am a chess coach for my chess club. A freestyle. I like to call myself a freestyle chess coach because I don't get paid for it or anything like that. But I love to teach people who don't know how to play chess. So let's take a look at the value of the actual product materials first, and then we'll talk about the value of how well it teaches. So right off the bat, I think, for less than $20, the board is fine. It's double-sided, the teaching side and the regular side, and it's a heavy material. The chess pieces. Now I'm going to walk up to the camera. I find the chess pieces are actually heavier than, some of these toy store plastic sets that you buy are so flimsy that you can literally, a breeze goes by and the pieces fall down. These are actually a heavy plastic, and they look as though that they were from perhaps a manufacturer. I don't know if you can see that on camera. It might not be in focus. I'm trying to get it to focus on close up. Okay, well, there's actually an indentation there, as if to say that there's a pad that goes there, and it is hollow. The plastic is that thick. I think it's that thick all around. I'm not positive, but it is thick plastic, and it is hollow all around. It looks like there. You want to put a weight or a magnet inside of it. So I know that I'm talking away from the microphone right now, so I'm going to repeat everything I said just in case. So the plastic is thick and it is hollow, seemingly to accept a magnet or a weight, and there is an indentation there that looks like it's ready for a felt pad or something like that. So the pieces themselves are actually heavier than your average toy store, cheesy chess set. These are actually you can hear the plastic is actually heavy. And there's actually some weight to them, because if I drop it even from a small height, it makes a loud bang. It's not tinkle tinkle. So yeah, so I would say that the chess pieces are, in fact, we're talking less than $20 for a board game. You can't buy a board game anymore for less than $20. So the cards, and by the way, yeah, this set comes with cards. It's no stress chess. You pull out a card and it tells you how the piece moves. Again, a lot of board games or whatever that come with cards, the cards are flimsy. Like, for example, if you buy a new Risk game, you have a small set of a deck of cards that are for the territories that are now flimsy and bendable and not very durable, whereas the old Risk games used to actually come with cards that had the same material as a deck of playing cards. So there's a difference in the material. These are actually thicker. There's 56 cards here, and just for point of reference, I have my favorite set of playing cards, a Bicycle fancy playing cards, Stargazer Sunspot picture on them. There's 52 cards in a deck, but there's 2 jokers and 2 advertising kind of cards in this, so there's 56 cards here as well. So again, I'm going to walk up to the mic. I'll walk up to the camera rather, and I'm going to talk a little louder maybe. But you can see that this is my deck of fancy smancy playing cards, from Bicycle. Okay, and let's take a look at the thickness. Okay, this is the deck of cards that comes with, and there's 56 cards here because there's these advertising cards. There's 2 jokers and advertising cards. So there's 52 cards here, and there's 4 here. That makes 56. So 56 of Bicycle playing cards, right? 56 the no stress chess cards. Now they don't have that nice matte finish or anything like that, but they are very heavy and I think they're plastic coated. I'm not sure. Nevertheless, they're actually thicker than my fancy smancy. They're actually thicker than my fancy smancy playing cards. So just to show you that, I realize that I'm talking away from the microphone again, but so I just wanted to give you the idea of what this set comes with and the value of the materials they use. So far, I'd have to say, as far as materials, for less than $20, I'm going to give this set an A. I think as far as board games concerned, and considering how many board games I've seen that were $20 or more, some even $30 and $40 that come with flimsy pieces and whatnot, I'm going to have to give this, material-wise, manufactured material-wise, I'd have to give this set an A for the price. Now let's get to the gameplay. The No Stress Chess, what they do is they tell you that forget about castling, forget about check and checkmate, forget about the en passant. Okay? So what they do is they tell you to draw a card, and if you can move that piece, you move it. Now that means, this is where I have a little bit of beef with the way it plays. Of course, it's my opinion, and I'm very opinionated about it because I happen to be a chess coach. So I'm a little bit. So I'll be careful on how I grade it. But if you play a game of chess and you don't teach about checkmate and whatnot, you're basically not teaching chess. You're teaching a capture game. So that's the name of the game. You've got to capture the king. And that's how you win in this no stress chess. Now, in the instructions, it tells you there's level 1, 2, and 3, and then expert. And of course, the expert, they tell you to put the rules back in for regular chess and whatnot. And you can still use the cards if you want. But it's hard. It's hard to explain. If you start teaching a young child, especially if he or she is a special needs child, how to play this, it's all well and good, and I don't think it's a bad thing. But once they learn how to play this without the checkmate, and en passant, and how you can castle and things like that, it's all, how much more work is it going to be to try and teach them how to do all that? It's almost like teaching them how to play the game over again. However, I could be wrong. So that's my opinion, only because I happen to be a chess coach. So the way this works, with that aside, is they give you the teaching side, and what they do, you set up the board the way you see these arrows here. Let me see if I can make sure that's in the screen. Okay. All right, so they show you these arrows here. You set up this side of the board with those pawns already moved. And this is theoretically shows how the first move of the pawn can actually move 1 or 2 spaces. So you set up the board like this, and I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. In fact, let me pause it, and this way I can set up the board and go back. And I'll be back. Okay, now that we're all set up, and as you can see, the pictorial side of the board has exactly where the pieces go. I'm hoping that you can see that on camera a little bit far away from the screen, and they show that they show the name of the pieces. So it is very good in a way that it'll teach you immediately how the pieces get set up. Okay, so the way the game works in level 1 is you shuffle the deck. Level 2, you can deal each player 2 cards. In level 3, you deal each player 5 cards. But we'll get to this. That doesn't really matter. I'm not here to teach you how to play this game completely. I'm just here to evaluate on how well it actually teaches. So the idea is that white goes first, of course, and you pull a card. And I pulled up the queen. Okay? And on the card it shows how the queen moves. You can move the queen. You can move me any number of squares, either in a straight line or in a diagonal line. Okay, and that's what the card says. Okay, so I got the queen card, and it says it wants me to move the queen, and it looks like I can in fact move the queen. Now, and then I would put it in my pocket here. This is a plastic flimsy. This is the only flimsy thing about this set. It's kind of a flimsy plastic holder for the cards. But so I can move my queen either here, or all the way across here, wherever I want to move it. So I don't know. I'm just going to move it like here, because I'm still a chess player, and I see the value of that. Now here's the thing about having no checkmate, or en passant, or castling, etc. You can, in fact, move your king into danger in this game, in this particular version, because the object is to capture the king. So there's a strategy that plays the luck of the cards, the luck of the draw. In other words, if it tells you to move your king, and you can move it into a space that's being, say, controlled by a bishop or something like that, in this version of the game, that's okay. Your opponent would have to draw the card to allow him or her to move that piece that is able to capture the king before he or she can actually capture it. So anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so it's black's turn, and black pulled up a rook. Okay? And it says, you can move me any number of squares in a straight line. Okay? Now, black cannot move his rook, either of them. So, again, unlike real chess, in real chess there are no passes. You can't pass a move. In this case, black cannot move. Okay? So, the way that works is, according to the box on the outside, it says, that brings together grandmasters and beginners, because it puts them on a level playing field. Yes, I agree, it does, because it takes away the strategy of strategy of protecting your king and everything like that. It even takes away the strategy of pins, because, for example, I'm going to show you on this board. I don't know if you can see it, But let's pretend for a minute that I had my queen here, and it was black's turn, and black got a pawn move, and he actually did this. In real chess, you can't do that because he's putting himself in check. In this game, you can. Okay, let's put that back. Let's put that back. All right. So that's the difference between real chess and this no stress chess, because there's no stress. It's in other words, yeah, it's okay. I can move any piece, but you know, my opponent would have to get the card. Okay, so it's white's turn, and I get a rook. I can't move my rook, so I pass. And it's black's turn. I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and he gets another rook, so he can't move his rook, and he passes. Then I take the white goes, and white gets his knight. Well, that we all know we can move a knight. Knight's the only ones that jump. You can move me through the air 2 squares in a straight line, and then you land me 1 square to the other side. I jump over the first 2 squares, but if there is a piece on the square, I land in capture it. That seems like a little bit. I land in, I capture it. That's a little weird. The English, I don't know who wrote this, but they don't speak English very well. I'm not sure. Maybe I read it wrong. Okay, so it is my move, and I'm going to move my knight, and I guess I'll move it here, like I was playing real chess. Black goes. Black gets a bishop. You can move me any number of squares in a diagonal line. Okay. So black moves a bishop. I don't know. How about this one? That would be pinning my knight in real chess. But if I were to get another knight card, theoretically, in this game, I can move it. It doesn't matter. I might not want to, but the point is that the regular rules of chess don't apply here. Okay, so it's my turn. Oh, wrong deck. It's my turn, and I get, move the same type of piece again. Okay, well, that's basically like getting the knight card. Okay, there's extra cards here that say you can move the same piece again. All right, so I can move this piece again and capture this pawn if I want to, even though in real chess my knight is pinned. That's if I wanted to, but I don't want to. No, you know what? For the purpose of evaluating this game, I'm going to show you that. Normally, I just move my other knight, but pretend I'm a total beginner. I barely knew how the pieces moved until I got these cards. So I'm going to go ahead and, since I wasn't taught about you can't put your king in check and all that, I'm going to go ahead and do something like this. I'm going to capture this pawn. Okay. Now, my king is in danger of being captured. If black pulls up a bishop card, I basically lost the game. If he doesn't, I'm still in. Black pulled up a rook card. He still cannot move his rooks. I pulled up a king. I pulled up my king card. So now that I see my king is in danger, I'm going to move my king out of the way. And I'll move it up. Okay? So as the game goes, until somebody actually captures the opponent's king. I don't know why there's so many rook cards in a row. I shuffled these deck pretty good, but the black just pulled up another rook card, which means I go again. I pull up a rook card, and this time I can move a rook. Okay? So for the sake of shortening this video, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to move the only place I can move it right now. Okay? Black goes, draws a card, and black pulls up a knight card. Okay? So black, I don't know, how about, how about black moves here? Okay? Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, I go and I move. I got another rook card. Unfortunately, I'm just going to be moving my rook back and forth if I keep getting those. Black picks up a card and he picks up his king. Black moves his king. I don't know. He wants to, move it out, I guess. Oh, that's right. Okay. And the game goes on. I'm trying to make this fast as possible, but I'm going to pull this. I'm going to pull this out and just sort of start flipping. I go and I pull up a queen card, and yes, I'm just going to go ahead and take that pawn. Now, in regular chess, the black is in check, but this is not regular chess. So black doesn't have to move the king out of danger or block it, okay? Because this is not regular chess. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's how I'm trying to show you how the difference between this. And again, the instructions do say level 2 and level 3 and then expert, where you basically put all the rules of chess back in. However, I have to say now that I think I'm at that point where I can say something about that. I find this rule pamphlet a little bit vague on the actual chess rules. It does work. I mean, it does explain it, but you have to be careful how you read it. You have to make sure you read every line. But nevertheless, I just put the king in check, which I don't even say because that's not this game. This game is about the cards. So black goes, and lo and behold, the black pulled up his king card. So black can actually move the king. And here's the funny thing. If black wanted to, he could actually move there, closer to the queen to try and capture it. Maybe he'll pick up another king card. And he's also putting himself in danger with my knight. Okay? Because this game is not real chess. Okay? This is the somewhat beef I have with it, because play this enough in this manner and it's a whole different game than actual chess. And if you're teaching a 5 or 7 year old or even a special needs 9-year-old, it might embed in his head or her head that that's the way this game is played, and I would have to unteach, if you know what I'm saying. Being a chess coach, if I would, because I bought this, I can't help but I saw it and I said, it's a new way of teaching chess. I thought maybe it would work. I'm going to find a way to use these cards regardless, but I might not do it this way because I'm afraid of the idea that I might embed in the kid's head that this is how you actually play chess, and I'd have to unteach. However, anybody who knows how to play chess can start off by saying, now we're going to change the rules of chess or something like that. We're going to take away check and checkmate. We're just going to play capture your king. We're not going to worry about check and checkmate. We might start off with something like that. I'm not even sure if that's how you say it. But anyway, I'm not going to move there. I'm going to tell black to. I'm going to make black move here instead. But I just wanted to explain that to you. Okay, now it's my turn. Is that the same? Yeah, I got a king card as well. Okay, I'm just going to keep moving my king out. Black goes. Black got a pawn card. Okay, finally we got a pawn card. So black is going to move one of his pawns. Let me see. Well, black has a pawn, and the black can actually capture my knight. You see, now normally I wouldn't have, in real chess, I wouldn't have left that knight there. I wouldn't have even put it there in front of the pawn, because I'm playing the luck of the cards. So I was unlucky this time. The cards gave him the right card to capture my knight. My turn, and I got moved the same piece again. Okay, so I moved the same type of piece again. So I moved my king before. I'm going to go ahead and move towards that bishop because I'm going to try and capture it. And here, again, in real chess, that would be an illegal move. Right? Oops. Let me move that back. That would be an illegal move in real chess. But not in this game. Black goes, and he has a knight that he has to move a knight. So, I think black wants to move here, trying not to get captured by my king. I go, and it says I have a knight move. Okay. So I'm going to finally get my other knight out. Oops. Okay. Black goes, and he gets a bishop. Let's see. What can black do? Oh, I lost the game. Black is going to capture my king. That's it. I lost. You see? So that's how this game works. So I hope that's a good evaluation. Again, product materials, an A. Teaching how to play chess, well, I'm going to have to give it a C. But if you want to divide that into subcategories, I have to say teaching how the pieces moved and how the board is set up, I'd have to give it a B. And a C on learning how to play chess because of that issue I have with the idea that a young child might get the idea that this is how you actually play, with the understanding that it does give instructions. For example, okay, so level 2 and 3. Right, so here, level 1, the contents, setup, play basic level 1, level 2 and 3. In level 2, deal each player a hand of 3 cards. In level 3, deal each player 5 cards, etc. And then it goes into advanced game. And then it starts to talk to you about experienced chess players like this variation. Play at level 3 and add the rules for pawn promotion, en passant, castling, and checking, as described in standard rules of chess below. In essence, this game follows all the rules of chess, except that movement is by play of a card instead of by choosing among all of your pieces. For experienced players, this permits risk taking, as found in other games. In other words, you can still play real chess, but you can take risks. Like put your queen in a place where it might get captured in hopes that your opponent doesn't get that card. However, putting all the other rules back in, you won't be able to put your king in danger. You won't be able to castle across a square that's being controlled by another piece, etc. So in that sense, I'd have to give it a C+ or even a B. But in the sense that it explains the general rules of chess, it's a little vague, and if you don't read every single line very carefully, it might confuse the beginner. Okay, so I would do that myself, being the chess coach I am. So overall, value an A, teaching chess C+. Overall, this game gets a B. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm going to walk away from the microphone as I reach for the stop record button, and I'm going to take the microphone with me so that you can still hear me as I'm walking away from the table. And I hope you enjoy this video. As always, please subscribe. By the way, this video was excuse me, it was not sponsored by the company who makes the game or anything like that. I just did it on my own because I saw the game, thought I'd purchase it, and wanted to evaluate it on a video. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you soon.